right before Christmas, I posted my third year in a row, the Switch Christmas special of me just talking about all the games I took advantage of for Black Friday. And last year I also did an epilogue talking about all the games I got right after Christmas or on Christmas. So just wanted to go through the 13 more Switch games that I got between Christmas and now. It's been a little less than a month, recording this on January 17th. Yeah, and so it's been a little less than a month since Christmas. So some games I got on Christmas, some games I maybe got a gift card for and then bought a game with it. Also some limited run games that came in. So we'll just go through them pretty quickly. We can yap a little bit about the state of the Switch since today's Friday, January 17th, and the Switch 2 was revealed yesterday. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about games that I got either on Christmas or bought with Christmas money in one way or another. So first one, kind of silly, Construction Simulator 4. These simulator games are really, really funny, and there's so many of them in so many different ways. I remember being in high school, and one of my friends had, I think it was Goat Simulator. I think that was like the first iteration of Goat Simulator on iOS, and these games are just really funny. Like, they're not the highest budget, and they're not supposed to be, but like, there's Farming Simulator. There's a bunch of farming simulators on Switch. There's Goat Simulator, Construction Simulator. We even have, like, was it Power Wash Simulator right now? Like, this, I know they're not all made by the exact same people, but like, they're all fantastic. They're all great concepts to, literally simulate very silly things, and it's just great. I also am looking at the back, and it says "Get to Work in Canada," which is just kind of funny. I mean, there's nothing funny about Canada. Just Canada's great, but it's just new Canadian setting with 3 districts. So this Construction Simulator 4, the plot is based in Canada. So very, very important that we talk about that. But yeah, simulator games, hilarious. Construction Simulator 4. Next is a game it's been out for a while. It's been out for a couple Marches now, I want to say. Probably 3 years. March 2021, 2022 maybe. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. The first 3D Kirby game, and a Kirby game that was very well received on release. Some adults playing it would say the game is kind of easy. That would make sense since it's a game made for children, but I think I got this one right after Christmas because it was it's still on sale. I think it was down to like 40, or even like, I think it was down to 40, and I was like, you know what? These Switch games, these aren't getting any cheaper, so I finally decided to jump on it. This is where, like, Kirby is in. This is fantastic. So I would like to play this at some point. I've never actually played a Kirby game, but like, you want an entry game? It sounds like this is it. So Kirby. Only Kirby thing I've ever played in my entire life, minus like playing somebody's Game Boy game a long time ago, was anytime I play Smash, I play as Kirby, just because I think it's really funny that when you use your down attack, you just like fall. So I would inhale people to take their abilities, but instead of actually taking their abilities, I would just like jump off the side and use the down attack to get a kill for both of us. So I don't know, that's kind of funny, but Kirby is great. Kirby is absolutely something that everybody should experience. Next is an interesting one. I think I got the regular edition of this last year, and then also on sale this year was this super cheap special edition of this game, and this is Loop 8 Summer of Gods, the Celestial Edition. So let's see what this includes. The game, a full color 64-page art book. I didn't know that. Original soundtrack CD, 7-inch by 10.5-inch mini wall scroll, and an authentic Japanese wooden Emma. Oops, I don't know how to say that word. But actually, I don't know why I'm looking at the back of the box for the first time now. But that's a pretty good collector's edition. If you like this, is this a series? I don't know. I bought it because it was cheap. But yeah. Loop 8, pretty cool. This thing is so freaking big that it doesn't actually like fit where I want to fit it on my shelf. So it kind of protrudes a little bit. It's okay. There's bigger problems at hand. Next one is really funny, and I don't even know why it exists, but I had to get it. And my brother ended up getting it for me just because it was on like crazy sale on Walmart. But this is the Nick Kart Racers Collection. So there are 3 Nickelodeon kart racers, and each one, as you'd expect, it's not as good as Mario Kart. It's just a kart racing game with Nickelodeon characters, but there's somehow 3 of them. 1 exists, I get. 2 exists, maybe if they're on different systems I would get, but there's 3 of them that exist, so I don't know who keeps buying these games, besides me, since I have all 3, but I don't know who keeps buying them, that they needed to make a collection, and also I think all 3 are on PS4 and Switch, and probably Xbox. Like, it's not even like they're on different systems, like they're all on the same system, it's just one cartridge with everything on it. But the even weirder part about this release is that it is the only one, this is only available at Walmart. The collection itself, only available at Walmart. Nick Kart Racers 1, 2, and 3, you could have gotten anywhere that they would sell the game, but this Kart Racers collection, only available on Walmart, which to me is very strange. So, yeah, I don't know. Very bizarre. But, yeah, it was a must-have. It was a must-have, so thanks to my brother for getting that. Another one, great addition for the Christmas gifts. But, yeah, Nintendo Switch Sports. It's a long time coming that I was supposed to get this one. I think when it was starting to come out, it didn't have, like, every update, and it was $50, and I don't know, whatever it was just a lot of things that I was like, it's not really tickling my fancy just yet to get, so I didn't end up getting it. I mean, the games that are on it, it's like volleyball, badminton, soccer, chambara, tennis, golf, and bowling. And, like, I really just want to play baseball because that's what I played in Wii Sports. Bowling, I'm sure, is fine, but nothing will ever actually top Wii bowling. I'm sure golf is fine, but I think even golf was, like, added later, or, like, the maps are the same, something like that. So I don't want to say this is, like, half effort, but, like, they could have probably done more. But I think I was watching a Nintendo Live video not that long ago, and they're like, it's fine. It's a fine release. But yeah, this big old chunk of a box, it was about time that I got it. So there we go. Not that I'm ever actually going to play soccer and Switch Sports unless it's really good. Last game I got for Christmas, or adjacent to Christmas before we move on to some other stuff, is Pikmin 1 and 2. So I've never played a Pikmin game in my entire life. Pikmin originating on the GameCube. And yeah, the original game is really expensive, especially on GameCube here in North America. And yeah, so they decided to put 1 and 2 on the same Switch cart. Here. It's pretty good. Nobody was expecting it. Pikmin 4 was released either last year or like 2 years ago. Pikmin 3 was on the Wii U, but then was brought to the Switch, I'm pretty sure. So now we have all 4 Pikmins on the Switch. Even though I'm not a big fan of Pikmin, I know a lot of people are. So this is a great thing for Pikmin fans that all 4 of the games are on there. But I do want to take a second and talk about Nintendo's pricing structure, because some of the things they do, very strange. So just yesterday, the same day that the Nintendo Switch 2 was revealed, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD was released on Switch for $60. Okay, so Donkey Kong Country Returns was originally a Wii game, and it ended up getting remade for the 3DS, and now it is remade for the Switch. But it's released at $60. This is a Wii game that they just put into HD, and it's $60. That is crazy to me. Now, I completely understand that Donkey Kong is a completely premium franchise. People are going to pay $60 no matter what. But, I don't know, even like with Tropical Freeze, right, the most recent new Donkey Kong game, it was, I want to say, $50 on the Wii U, and then it was just ported to Switch, basically, and it was $60. So why did it go up even though it's a game that had already been released before at a cheaper price? Yes, I get it, Wii U failing, whatever, but like, I don't know, it doesn't seem good to me that Donkey Kong, like a Wii game can be, you know, it'll cost $60, but then something like Metroid Prime Remastered is $40, and like Pikmin 1 and 2, I mean, even if that was $60, that's 2 games in one for $60. I mean, there's probably fans out there that would have probably paid $60 for each one. It might have actually been $50 for this release. I'm not even sure. And it's funny because I commented that on a Nintendo Life video, and I've never had a comment blow up so much. I think I had like 500 likes and then like 100 comments of people just telling me like, yeah, what's the deal with this? Why is it $60? And then some people are like, well, I never played it growing up, so I'm going to pay $60 for it. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But I don't know, paying $60 for a game that was released 15 years ago just because it's in HD. I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but yeah, I'm sure it's not going to get better with the Switch 2. But we'll talk about the Switch 2 in just a sec. But I think I was talking to my friend Mike about this the other day. I would not be surprised if first-party Switch 2 games go up to $70 for all of them. So I don't know, crazy. But so that was it for games that I got either on Christmas or like right after Christmas. But then the next two came in like within a week time period. And it's a bunch of limited run games. So I had two 3-game orders from limited run. And yeah, they came in. So let's chat about them. First one, Contra Operation Galuga. So I remember seeing this in a Nintendo Direct, I'm pretty sure. And it's just another Contra game. I'm drawing a, what's the name of this genre? I can't remember. But Contra reminds me so much of what was it called? Commando? There's a game, I don't know if anybody's ever played Miniclip before, but there was a website a long time ago, I think it's still up, miniclip.com, that had just a bunch of Flash games, really short, quick games, everything from like just kicking a soccer ball with a monkey to kind of games that are like full games, kind of. And I remember playing one on Miniclip, I think it was just called Commando, or maybe Commando 2, I don't remember, it's been a long time, but it reminds me so much of that game, like, because it literally is just a clone of that. Yeah, so Contra is just, super big franchise over history all the way back to, like, the NES. So it was the newest game in the series, and for some reason, it was just released by Limited Run physically, and yeah, I picked it up. So there's a reason there, but, so it goes. Next one is Grounded Fully Yoked Edition. Never heard of this game in my life, could not tell you a thing about it. All I know is that I believe this was an Xbox game originally. I don't believe that I see it on the back of the box, but it was originally an Xbox game, and then it was in the spring, I guess, this past spring, that two Xbox games were being brought to the Switch, Grounded and Pentiment. I'm pretty sure Pentiment was another Xbox game, so cool to see a little bit of crossover there. I know that of the big three, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, I know Xbox and Nintendo kind of like that. They can be buddies sometimes. I know the CEO of Xbox is like super buddy with Nintendo, and he loves his Nintendo games, so that's cool. A little bit of crossover. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some like more crossover between Microsoft and Nintendo. At least Microsoft coming to Nintendo, Xbox games coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Whether or not it's like Game Pass, that's a different story. But yeah, that's cool. Weird release from Limited Run. I don't know. Next one is a 360 and PS3 era release, and this is Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. I just remember from working in the game store, this game was more than just a little expensive, and yeah, Limited Run put out a port of it, or a remaster. I don't know if it's a port or a remaster. Pretty sure it's a remaster. I could be wrong. Never played the original. I just remember it from working in the store. I probably would never have heard of this game otherwise, but there's a lot more unique, not as many unique names as Lollipop Chainsaw, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And yeah, now we're adding it to the collection. Yeah, again, I mean, I've talked about it in the past, limited run games, I just buy them, man. It's a bad habit. Next one from Limited Run is Ninja 5-0. I can talk a little bit more about this one, but Ninja 5-0 is a Game Boy Advance game, but it is a very expensive Game Boy Advance game. We're talking loose. Its height maybe 3 years ago was like $500 loose. It's since tanked. Now it's like $300 loose, but that is madness. So I'm sure that Limited Run, putting this in a previous like Limited Run Direct, saying like, oh yeah, we're bringing Ninja 5-0 to the Switch, I'm sure it tanked the price a little bit, made the game more accessible, but yeah, it's a good for game preservation, good for game collecting, that really expensive games are I don't want to say that it's good that they're tanking in value, but it's good that they're becoming more accessible past just like emulation. So very cool for that. There was a special edition of this. I definitely would. I mean, there's a special edition for a lot of Limited Run games, but yeah, cool to get a $300 Switch game for the price of like $35. Two more Limited Run games, and then we're almost to the end. But this one's really cool. This is Ru-grats Adventures in Gameland, and it's just a platformer with the babies. I grew up watching Ru-grats. I love Rugrats. I loved it growing up. You know, the days of watching cartoons then was like SpongeBob and Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents, Rugrats, all those. And yeah, the series is still getting some support years later. I think there's a reboot of it. I could be wrong. But I mean, you can't match the original animation for Rugrats. Just kind of like the super grainy, super blocky, not blocky, so to speak, but like, yeah, legendary. So this one's super cool. I mean, it is a Switch game, but it comes in like this old Nickelodeon VHS tape style box. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm sure just the box comes out and the game's right there. But I remember having a handful of Nickelodeon VHSs where they were all like this orange. I think I had a Blue's Clues one. Definitely had a Wild Thornberries one. Those are the only two that are coming to mind, but I know I had more. But I will never forget that like orange Blue's Clues VHS. So to get a Nickelodeon era VHS tape box, I don't know, that's really cool to me. There was a regular edition of this too, but I was like, I don't know, it's worth a couple extra dollars. I don't think there's a lot added in it. I think it's literally just the box, but that's good enough to me. Last limited run Switch game, and then we'll get to just one more Switch game that I bought, and then we'll call it a day. But this one is Tomba Special Edition. So lots of remakes in this limited run of games. What we had? Ninja 5 is a remake. Lollipop Chainsaw is a remake. Grounded is kind of like a port. Yeah, and this one, Tomba was originally released on the PS1. And it's kind of expensive. I don't want to say it's not Ninja 5 expensive, a little more expensive than Lollipop Chainsaw, but it was expensive. Some PS1 games are up there. And yeah, limited run put Tomba on there. So there it is. He's a cool dude. He's got pink hair. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So those are a couple limited run games. But last one we'll talk about is one that I just bought on eBay. It's one that I had in my list for a long time, but I guess I just like missed out on it. I don't even think it was like a limited run game. I think it was just a regular release. I don't know. It's weird release. I thought it was limited run. I looked at the back of the box. It's not limited run. But this is All-Star Fruit Racing. I don't know. Very, very weird game to end on. But this, I don't know. I saw the title of it and I was like, I got to get this. And it's been in my like list of games to get for a really long time. And I guess I just never really came across it. I think at one point I had like a brand new copy, a sealed copy in my eBay watch list, and then somebody else bought it. And I was like kind of waiting for a new copy, but I just bit the bullet and got this one for like under $20. So that's nothing. But it had been in my list for a really long time. I didn't just buy it to be opportunistic. I bought it because, I don't know, it's silly. All-Star Fruit Racing. I was just making fun of Nickelodeon kart racers before, and now I'm buying fruit racing? I don't know. And yeah, that's all the Switch games I got on Christmas or right after Christmas. Just wanted to take a second and talk more about the Switch 2. Switch 2 released yesterday, or not, revealed yesterday, revealed yesterday, and it's just the next iteration of the Switch, and that's fine. I mean, they didn't show off a whole lot. I think there's definitely some very neat, very quirky hidden features that they just didn't show us, and it's crazy that we have to wait until April to find out more info. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of stuff was getting leaked. Most of it was accurate. I'm just happy that we're going to get a new system. I was not into game collecting, not even really into gaming when the Switch was released. I didn't start collecting until 2018, December 2018. I think so, and the Switch was released March 2017. So it wasn't like super on my radar. I think at the time, the most gaming I would have been doing was like playing NHL on my PS4. I wasn't super into gaming, but now that I'm like, very much into collecting, yeah, I have been very in tune with, release info. So very excited to see what comes next. I have high hopes for it. I think the potential for what we could get for launch titles, or at least titles in the first calendar year of the release, are crazy. I mean, we've already been told about Metroid Prime 4. We've been told about Pokemon Legends ZA. We've been taught, a Zelda remake, not out of the cards, not so unbelievable. I was talking to somebody about that yesterday, and I can't remember the other things we said. But really, the potential is super high. Mario Kart 9. Hello, they showed Mario Kart 9. Assuming that is a brand new Mario Kart, which I think it is. It's a brand new Donkey Kong sprite, right? But if Mario Kart 9 is a launch title, I am going to the store and fighting people for a Switch 2. Not actually. Don't take me seriously. But yeah, we got to see pricing info. I'm sure it's going to be $400 at the very least. So I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be cool. Whether or not it's earth-shattering, I don't know. But I think it'll be a good time to follow the Switch 2 stuff over the next couple months. So, yeah, with that said, that's the Switch Christmas epilogue. And, yeah, I have a couple more videos in the works, some more, just talking about some more stuff that I've gotten over the past month or so, too. But the next two, I think, are going to be kind of weird. Or if not the next two, some of the next two videos. Not even gaming related, but still collecting related. So, we'll get there when we get there. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. If I missed something about these games or I said something wrong, please correct me. I would love to continue learning about these games as much as I have hopefully taught you something. So, with that said, bye!